The state of Florida has paid more than $11 million over a 30-year period to settle hundreds of cases that allege that state workers were sexually harassed by supervisors and co-workers, or were forced to work in a hostile work environment. The Associated Press requested the information from the state agency that tracks payments made to settle lawsuits filed against state agencies and state universities. The information released Monday showed that more than 300 cases have resulted in payments since 1987. Amounts ranged from a $5,500 payment to a Florida State University student who alleged harassment from a supervisor to a $1.3 million payment to settle a class action lawsuit filed by nurses who worked at state prisons. Nearly 60% of the cases involved employees who worked in the Department of Corrections. One woman received a nearly $129,000 payment just last year to settle a 2-year-old lawsuit that alleged her supervisor at the Florida Department of Health had discussed sexual activities he had witnessed. He also would comment about women's breasts and buttocks, according to the lawsuit. Marie Matix, the attorney who represented the woman, said she doesn't think that sexual harassment is more pervasive in state government, but she contended it's tolerated more in select agencies and that it takes longer to resolve lawsuits than those filed against private employers. John Tupps, a spokesman for Gov. Rick Scott, said that only 2% of the payments had occurred during Scott's time in office. He also noted that Scott this year signed a bill that keeps confidential the names of state workers who allege sexual harassment. The governor wants every state employee to be able to work in an environment where they feel safe, Tupps said in a statement. The overwhelming majority of these expenditures predate the governor's time in office and are approved by the chief financial officer. The app requested settlement payment information from the Office of Chief Financial Officer Jimmy Patronize amid allegations of sexual misconduct at the highest reaches of state government. State Sen. Jack Latvala, a powerful Republican and candidate for governor, is being investigated by the Florida Senate after a report came out that said he had harassed and groped women during his time in office. Latvala has denied the allegations. Jeff Clemens, who was poised to become the next Senate Democratic leader, resigned in early November following reports he had an extramarital affair with a lobbyist. Florida routinely pays out millions each year to settle numerous lawsuits involving everything from claims from injured workers to residents whose cars or property are damaged by state workers. Since 1987, the state has paid more than $74 million to settle nearly 2,100 employment-related claims, including the more than 300 sexual harassment claims.